How to turn an $11 investment into $65. I am so happy that I got into selling baseball hats. If you're looking for something that appeals to men and women and kids, although these are adult hats, but depending on the size of the kid's head, he could fit into them. They are adjustable, except for this one. This one's a fitted one. Fitted means that, and I have a little bag under there to hold it up. Fitted means it doesn't have a strap in the back. See, that has the adjustable strap. So it could fit a kid's head or a teenager's head. So this appeals to old, young, and on top of that, it's so easy to ship and to store. I take the plastic bags out of them and I fold them flat in the back, kind of like this. Fold them flat in, and then they can kind of like stack on each other. And I put them all in one box, so it's easy to keep organized. This is one of the items that I call my bread and butter items. Every reseller has one, and this one helped me fill in the gaps between selling vintage, my vintage items being right up here. Some of that's listed, some of it isn't. And on top of that, when you sell vintage, they're breakable, they're fragile. You got to make sure you're not damaging them while you're waiting for them to sell. You also have to take a lot of time to wrap them and things like that when you ship them. There's a lot more going on. Whereas these, I can basically throw into a poly mailer. Unless it's something special about the hat that I wouldn't want it to get crushed, or so the vintage ones don't have the plastic in it. This has a plastic brim on it. They actually have cardboard, and if I didn't want that to get bent, then I would put it in a box. But I have those mug boxes, and then I just send it priority mail and do it that way. So I do make sure that these are plastic, and then I put them up as regular mail for shipping. But if it's a cardboard one, then I put it up as priority mail, and the person has to pay a little bit more in shipping so that they get it and it's not all mangled up. I paid $1.99 for this one and $2.99 for each of the ones in the back. And I listed them up on different prices on both eBay and Poshmark. And I expect to get somewhere in that $65 range. I spent roughly $11 on these. Now, in the past, I have gotten baseball hats, not this one, but baseball hats at garage sales for 50 cents. I have 3 more to list, but the 3 I have to list have to be cleaned first. And I have a whole video on how to clean dirty, smelly baseball hats. I'll link that down below, and I'll put it in the comments too. I had to clean those 3. I got them each for $1, and those are golfing ones. So what's funny about baseball hats is that it's all different sports, and or in this case destinations. A San Diego one is like, someone traveling to a city. Car racing, and this is hockey, and this one's hockey. I even have the John Deere ones, which is like farming. There's all kinds of different baseball hats. They just appeal to any age group. It doesn't matter, who's wearing them. And some people collect them, or they just they like a specific person. Like this one says Ricky Rudd on it, who's a racer. Car racing and NASCAR and all that. So that's what makes them so appealing to a much bigger group of people, and I think that's why I like them. I sell them anywhere from $10 up to $20. I do have a few listed higher than that are vintage. They're specific, game ones, specific like all-star games, that kind of thing. But always, like, comp them out. Don't think, oh, well, that's just a regular Flyers one. That's not going to be worth much. It could be worth a lot. depending on what it says. Now, this particular one is only worth about $10, but you never know when something's going to come up and it's actually worth like 45. So that's interesting about the baseball hats too, is they range in price a lot, but they do fill in the gaps between when I sell my vintage and my other items that I, have listed. Now, of course, I do men and women's clothing. I do household goods, so not everybody's looking for a replacement coffee craft or something like that. But people love baseball hats. I know my husband probably has about 30 of them himself. If he can ever bear to part with any of them, I can always list his too. As a quick recap, baseball hats are easy to source. They're usually inexpensive and you can flip them for good profit. They're easy to store and easy to ship. And as I said in the beginning of the video, I paid roughly $11 and I expect to get 65. So that's a pretty good return. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will catch you guys later.